Today we'll be taking a look at the Draper Expert 1/4 inch extension set.
Okay, so now we'll be taking a look at the Draper Expert 1/4 inch drive chrome vanadium 4-piece extension bar set. Now we took a look at the Bergen and the Nielsen 1/4 inch before, around the £5 price point. These were around the £9 price point, or the £9.50 price point, so I guess you could say round that up to £10 price point, couldn't you really? We'll get there in the end. Now these were the kind of thing I was looking for first time round. I couldn't find no sets for for love or money for Draper Expert, so I kind of bought the Bergen at the time. They were okay. I tried the Nielsen, but they weren't. They were for the face-off, but they really weren't impressive at all in 1/4 inch drive. But I found these the other day. They're a brand new line that's come on, and so they're basically back in stock again. So being they were cheap, I picked them. I need a set of 1/4 inch for the garage that are actually decent. I moved the Bergen into the garage and picked these up from my main box. Again, the thing here with these is they're a 4-piece and not a 5-piece, so they are actually missing the 75mm. But I do already have a Draper Expert 75mm that was bought separately for the moulded case that clicks into there. So that's not a problem for me. They are a slightly different. It is a slightly different design, Draper Expert 75mm to these ones. It's the type that's just plain. There's no knurling on the female head of the drive, but there is a detent hole that's drilled in them. So it's a slightly different design, but it won't make much difference when it comes to use. Some of you might bemoan the lack of a 75mm, but if you've already got one, no matter what the brand, obviously you probably won't care about that. But even if you don't have one, you've got the 50mm, which isn't much smaller there, and then you've also the next step up. I think this is 100mm. Yeah, you've got the 100mm. So where you was going to use the the 75, if it's shallow enough to use the 50, you've got the 50, and obviously where you would have needed the 75 and a little bit more, you've always got the 100. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit longer, a little bit further away, but the 100's going to do what you was going to be able to do with the 75 anyway. So we'll get them open and we'll take a look. There is a number on here. I'm assuming that's the catalogue number. It's 16765. So I've cut these open. So we'll take the just to take a look at the back of the sizes. It says you've got a 50, a 100mm, a 150mm, and a 250mm extensions in there. Now if we take a look at the 100, there we go. We can see that we've got the Draper Expert logo on there. We'll probably get it a little bit better. There we go. Come here. There we go. We can see the Draper Expert logo and the chrome vanadium on there. We've also got a knurl band around the female head part on the drive end. You can see there that runs around there. We have got detents inside the female end. They are very light though, but then again it is 1/4 inch drive. But you can see those in there. That's obviously what the inside of the female part looks like. If we turn it around to the male part, you can see these little corner chamfer pieces. And now spring-loaded ball bearing there. Again, chamfered at the top. Take a look at the smallest 50. Again, we can see the Draper Expert. Can't even add him on there. A nail band again. There is a slight recess on them at the very top as well. You just see there where my nail is. It runs around. See the spring-loaded bearing. Again, there are detents inside that 1, 2. Again, they are just larger versions of the same extension. We'll get in trouble, but we have got detents in this one. We're having trouble focusing again right at this very minute. There we go. So we've got the Draper Expert on there, and the nail, the detents again. So it looks inside. They are chamfered on the heads and slightly on the inside there. And again, we've got our spring-loaded bearing. In the male end. Take a look at our biggest one, which is the two 50mm. It is a fairly large one, as you can see there. So, but again, you know, more of the same. We've got the recess at the top and the nail running along the top. But again, when something's polished, that the grip of the nail kind of deteriorates a little bit. So it's kind of more for you know, aesthetic reasons. I'd say, to be honest with you. I mean, that's relatively slippery. You can hear that against the nail tip. I don't know. Hello, but it's relatively slippery. I can imagine with a bit of oil or WD-40 or something on the ratchet, it'd be even more so slippery. So you know, it's, like I said before, they're usually more for aesthetic more than anything else. So again, we've got the detents that run inside, as you can see. So they're all detented. Again, sometimes certain parts of a certain kit won't be and some will, so we always check that, although you would assume they would all be. Again, the slight chamfer on the inside that runs around that. If we take a look at the male end, you see the spring-loaded bearing. And again, exactly the same as the others. Sometimes we have seen things slightly different before amongst a set. These seem to be fairly consistent with one another. So all in all, you know, as a half decent set, you've got this new set now. you've got this new set now as a half decent set by Draper Expert. If you don't want to go the cheaper route, Bergen and things like that, you know, Draper Expert have got a half decent set back out again, 1/4 inch, so you don't have to buy separate pieces from them. Yeah, it is missing the 75mm. You can buy them separately, obviously. I'll show the 75 that I already have, but that's what the packet looks like. That's what they look like. I'll just get the 75mm. Okay, so in my box, I already have a Draper Expert 75. As you can see, it's a slightly different design. It's the one that has the detent hole drilled there. If you prefer to use that, you can see the Draper Expert stamped on the top of the head as well. There's no knurling on this one. You see the 75mm is stamped on there as well. So you can pick these up, you know, separately. So it's a slightly different design. It's got the drilled through detent hole, but there is other detent points inside the female hole on these ones. And again, it's slightly chamfered again. So you can choose to locate the ball actually in that detent hole, or if you just want to use it like normal, you can choose to locate it in one of the regular detent points like that, and just use it like that. You know, that's up to you, but so you kind of have your 75 that you can pick up separately. You might have one from another manufacturer anyway, and then you've kind of got your there's your 100. So there it is against the 100. So you can see it's not really that much bigger. So if you're buying them for the first time, you don't have it in there, which you don't. It's not that really a big deal. And then your 50s, not all that much smaller anyway. So like I say, to me, I already have the a 75, although it's not exactly the same, so it's not a big deal for me. It's a Draper Expert as well, which is kind of a bonus. But if we have a look at the Draper, if we have a look at the Draper Expert wobble bar that we have here, in comparison, you can see that they put the nail down the bar. But if we look at that in comparison, so you can see that the sizing is pretty consistent. Now, obviously, I've got it. It's quite hard to get that because these ones are quite big. You can have a look there that the size in there is you know, fairly consistent. Should probably try that with a smaller pair. There we go. You can see that the size in between the wobble bar and these new rigid attachment bars are fairly consistent, so they will match your Draper Expert kit fairly well. So that's the Draper Expert, the brand new Draper Expert 16 76 5 4-piece extension bar set.